Hello and welcome back to Asia Now. My name is Alex and I want to start by thanking SWBS Arita for a $99 donation to the channel. Now yesterday I said some things about the direction of this channel, whether I wanted to continue, and I believe this was a little bit of encouragement for me. It goes a long way. Stick around to the end of the video. I want to talk about this and other donations, as well as what's going to happen with Asia Now. In this video I'll tell you about 7 Americans banned from entering the Philippines, find out why, 49 Malaysian immigration officials arrested, a data breach affecting 28 million Philippines passport holders, transport strike leaders arrested, plus much more. Let's jump into our main story. I'm gonna have to watch my words a bit carefully because it's very sensitive, and I want to say that these men that I'm going to talk about have all been convicted according to the press release of the Bureau of Immigration. So keep that in mind, because just yesterday I said about not trying to put people on blast unless they've been actually found guilty of their crimes. The Bureau of Immigration Philippines said its officers at the airport recently denied the entry of 7 Americans previously convicted of intercourse crimes in the U.S. In a statement, the Bureau of Immigration officers in charge, Joe Anthony Viado, said the passengers were intercepted on separate dates at the Naya International Airport and the Mactan Airport during the past 3 weeks, when the said PDF files arrived and sought admission as tourists into the country. However, they were immediately denied entry after our primary officers and the supervisor discovered that they are registered intercourse offenders due to their records of conviction for the crimes they committed against people that are not 18 years old yet. He added that the passengers were excluded pursuant to the Philippines Immigration Act, which prohibits the entry of aliens who have been convicted of these crimes involving moral turpitude. I quote, "They were all turned away and boarded the next available flight to their port of origin, and as a consequence of the exclusion, they were included in our blacklist and banned from entering the Philippines." And here are the details regarding the 7 people. The first to be intercepted was Dustin Patrick Auvel, 57, who arrived Naya from San Francisco, U.S. last August 22nd. He was convicted in 2006 for assaulting a 4-year-old. The same day, Daniel Russell, 34, was also excluded at Naya after he arrived from Tokyo. He was convicted in 2013 of second-degree assault against 6-year-old. Also included at Naya on August 23rd was Francisco Javier Alvarado, 39, who was convicted in 2017 of having adult content with people that are not 18 yet. Next to be denied entry are Michael Allen Turner, 41, who arrived from Hong Kong last August 24th at Mactan Airport, Cebu. He was convicted in 2003 for assault of... I'm not going to read the rest. It's pretty disturbing. I don't want to read it, to be honest. I'm going to leave the link if you guys want some more details specific to what they did in the description. I'll leave the link there. You guys can click there and find out all the details. And this information is public if you know where to look. Moving on to our next story. And then a total of 49 Malaysian immigration officers, including a senior officer, were arrested for their involvement in helping a syndicate smuggle foreign workers into Malaysia through Kuala Lumpur International Airport. The senior officer, believed to be the mastermind, had worked in the department for 20 years and allegedly influenced about 50 other officers. This illegal operation, known as countersetting, allowed foreign workers to enter Malaysia through special lanes at the airport without proper documentation. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission conducted a 6-month investigation before arresting the officers, agents, and other individuals linked to the syndicate. The operation led to the seizure of over 1 million ringgit, that's over $234,000 US in cash, vehicles, and jewelry. Additionally, 215 bank accounts with over 3 million ringgit were frozen. The syndicate was responsible for smuggling foreign nationals from countries like Myanmar, Bangladesh, Indonesia, India, Pakistan, and Nepal. The officers involved received bribes ranging from about 200 ringgit to 2,500 ringgit for each foreigner. I think right now 1 USD is around 4 ringgit. This is interesting specifically because the mastermind was a leader, like a high-ranking official at the airport. So, I mean, as one of the agents and officers, my defense would be, I don't want to, tell people how to go ahead. I'm sure they already know with their lawyers and all that. But I mean, it's hard to say that you weren't coerced or threatened for your job if you didn't follow through with what the leader or supervisor said, especially in a lot of these Asian countries. It's not like the US and Canada where workers have a lot of rights. I mean, look at the story itself. They've gone ahead and got people from all these like developing countries, obviously not making a lot of money in their home country, and being exploited, coming into Kuala Lumpur and working for, I'm sure, very low wages. So I'm glad that these countries like the Philippines, Malaysia, any country really, doesn't really matter where it is, that corruption kind of gets like at least found out there's so much more behind. I'm not like naive. I know there's so much bigger fish out there doing a lot worse things, but I guess it's always good to get some people and catch them so no more people get hurt during this process. On the other side, on the flip side, somebody could say, if it wasn't because of this guy, these immigrants would not have any money, let alone little money. So that's where the actual moral dilemma comes from. Leave your thoughts down below. What do you think? Do you think it's okay to go ahead and do this because this way at least the workers are getting some kind of payment instead of nothing? Or do you think it's not because they're really getting exploited for not having or being paid the equal wages of that country itself like Malaysians would? I'd love to hear from you guys. Next up, the personal data of some 28 million passport holders may have been compromised after the National Printing Office failed to install a cybersecurity system that would protect the information, the Department of Foreign Affairs said on Thursday in the Philippines. The Foreign Affairs Assistant Secretary said, I quote, "We are really concerned with the security of our more than 28 million passport holders' data. It's something that we really want to protect. We've experienced a lot of agencies whose data had been hacked," Cruz said. After Senator Lauren Lagarde, chairman of the Finance Subcommittee, told him she didn't want to be surprised by a long wish list because the department forgot to include something. I quote, "Some were sold on the deep web. Unfortunately, if I have to say, if we're not happy with the one GOCC, government-owned and controlled corporation that's in charge of printing our passports," he said, "we are seriously looking into the possibility of employing a cybersecurity system for all of our passport data." Looks like the security breach came from the passport printing company that does not have like the proper cybersecurity in place. The world is becoming digital. All of our passports now probably have a chip in it, right? If you got a new one. So it's really important. These things do matter. A lot of hacking going on because you might think, okay, nobody in our country might have any ill intentions, but don't forget, the World Wide Web is a big place, and even myself, I've been hacked a couple of times in the past couple of years, and like nothing major, thank goodness for myself, but like people do want to steal your identity. They do make purchases on your behalf, and if they have your date of birth, passport number, they can do all kinds of things that you and I might not even be aware of. So kind of alarming to not have a cybersecurity in such an important department. And then 6 leaders of transport groups in Bacolod City opposing the government's transportation modernization program were arrested by the Bacolod City Police Office in front of a hotel along a major road on Wednesday. This once again is the jeepneys trying to go from the old school jeepney lookings now to the more modern ones. One of those things that's not going to go away for a while now. I guess these people are protesting against it, but they've been arrested now. Next up, the Philippines has fallen to near bottom in a global ranking of how countries are nurturing and attracting skilled workers, placing 63rd out of 67 economies in the International Institute for Management Development 2024. I'm not going to get too much into the detail on that one. Also, go ahead and I'll go ahead and put the link in the description if you guys want to read more about that. Just 4 years ago, the Philippines actually ranked 48th and now going down to 63rd. But then again, 4 years ago before the whole world shut down, maybe the Philippines just has not yet recovered fully. Next up in Thailand, the only news we have today, but really important. In Bangkok, city officials have introduced new rules stating that only low-income Thai nationals can now set up street vendor stalls, excluding migrant workers from participating in this bustling sector. The regulation signed by Bangkok governor aims to support low-income citizens and improve public spaces. To qualify as a vendor, individuals must have government welfare cards, be paying off National Housing Authority properties, and receiving specific welfare allowances. Additionally, the annual income after business expenses must not exceed 300,000 baht, just about 9,000 USD a year. The new rules also impose strict guidelines for street vendors. They are allowed only one Thai assistant and must meet public health standards while ensuring clear pedestrian pathways. Stalls are limited to 3 square meters with safety gaps required between the roads and stalls, as well as emergency exits. The governor also plans further regulations to monitor vendors' incomes and enforce tax compliance as well. Okay, so long story short, if you've never been to Thailand and Bangkok, pretty much anywhere in Thailand, street vendors right now are setting up shop pretty much anywhere on the sidewalk, on the road. And a lot of Asian countries actually, or Southeast Asian countries, somebody with a motorcycle might come with something attached to it that has like a full-on shop, essentially. They can start cooking and they can park anywhere. A lot of times in front of 7-Elevens, convenience stores, or just really spots that are a lot of traffic, obviously. And what this does is takes away pedestrian lanes and walkways from people to just get around, makes it dangerous, having people to go ahead and step on the road and then they get hit by cars. Now, that's not the only thing, obviously. Like, you need proper permits, health standards. I can see both sides of this. Of course, as a government, you want to reduce all the chaos, and you want to also at the same time not take away people's livelihood, right? A lot of things here that is kind of up in the air for me as how I feel personally, because I think this would work if you actually do the proper investigation and look at it from like a perspective of having set standards of seeing issued like licenses, let's say, or something like that. But then you get into this like whole section of, okay, is the money going to the right place? So for example, if somebody doesn't have the permit or doesn't meet these requirements, will there be a fine issued? And where does that fine go, right? So does that go into the governor's pocket in some police officer? So I don't want to speculate, but there's a lot of red tape, I think, or a lot of regulation that need to be put in place before you can impose such a big drastic change, because the street food is a big part of Thailand and Bangkok. Now I understand the night markets and all that. Let me know what you think of this story. Do you think this is a good idea or not? If you've been to Bangkok or Thailand, or just based on what I just told you guys. Let's go ahead now, take a look at our segment called Yesterday Today. Is that what it's called? I think so, where I read some of the most popular comments regarding our previous video, and I'll tell you guys what I told you at the beginning. Obviously, being for SWBS Arita with a $99 super thanks and actually donation to the channel, so thank you. Next up would be Kassad 2008. These Asia Not videos are part of my daily news feed. Thank you. Eddie says those legislators in the House and the Senate are just grandstanding. Nothing really happens in their investigation at the end. Filipinos are fed up with this political circus. Okay, some insight regarding the House and all that. Brian says, Alex, be patient. Your news channel will grow. Yours is the best Southeast Asian news forum I've seen. I've learned many things about the Philippines that are of value to me prior to me moving there. Keep up the good work. It is appreciated. Well, thank you. And if you guys appreciate these videos, go ahead and subscribe and hit that like button. And I want to kind of take a second to kind of go over what I meant yesterday when I said I was considering or thinking about whether I should continue with these Asia Now videos. As I mentioned earlier, these videos take a lot of time. And at the end of the day, basically, I have to see if it's worth it or not. And you guys really motivated me yesterday because I got so many messages showing support and appreciation for the videos. A lot of people saying that they do value it, so that means a lot to me. That is enough for me to continue making these videos. And of course, these donations of $100 yesterday, $100 today go a long way for me to go ahead and make a living, because if you don't know, right now, obviously, I'm not retired. I don't have any other source of income, so my money comes from making these YouTube videos and seeing those ads that you guys see on these videos. So long story short, I just want to say I'm going to continue making these videos. I want to thank every single person that watches, hits the thumbs up button, or just part of the channel as a whole. Even if you haven't subscribed yet, as long as you guys are watching, and if you share your comments, I'll definitely go ahead at least respond to it. And it doesn't matter if you agree with me or disagree with me. You know, you could have differences of like opinion and still be civil and talk about something. Let's not forget that part of it. So take a second, write your comments down below, share your opinions. I want this community to be strong and positive and grow. Whether we agree, disagree, it does not matter. We're all humans. We all have opinions. I'm not always right, but I'm always open to hearing other people's opinions. And that's it for this video. I feel like I could ramble on forever. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow. It's the weekend. If I don't see you, enjoy yourself. I'll see you guys Monday. Bye.